as the Rams offense comes back out. Here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance.
It's so boring, man. I can't move.
I like how you use Fortnite.
I'm impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
Look at this dude. That's all he did for the
Interception. Picked off at the 38. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Looking for Woods that time. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. After the interception, here's Wilson. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. From the gun, it's Wilson. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Shane Ray in there to get him. And that's sack number 12
Ray, way to go, baby.
on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box. Touchdown.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Another carry now for Gurley. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
The Rams on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Back to throw. Huff. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing again. Huff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Rams on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Huff airing it out deep.
There's my bomb.
That's caught at the 25.
Good job.
It's a big conversion there for the Rams on 3rd down. 44 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Man, the clock was running.
And with the play clock running out, Sean McVay will take a timeout. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. On 1st and goal, Gurley trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Fielded at the 33. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. And the Rams getting set to go now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10. Huff, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Off the play fake. Huff. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll run it again with Penny. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Penny, the first down carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's get it.
On second down, here's Penny. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Rashad Penny, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back
There we go,
out.
guys.
And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar
I was
situation.
going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Green 39! Green 39!
Again they run with Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter.
All right, tight end,
Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. In trouble. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on down's the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless, take care of the ball on the way out.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Penny. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you can say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
After the penalty, it's Penny. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. On the stop was Aaron Donald. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On third down, Penny. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows?
All right, guys, that's the game. I'm out.
Barkevius Mingo in that time on the tackle. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But